Two men journey to the bars and restaurants of Scandinavia to find amazing beers, always with the same question.
Hey, what's on tap?
It's time to find out.
Welcome to What's on Tap podcast, and I am joined today with Martin, and we're going to drink some beers.
We are going to drink some beers.
Very excited.
I brought one of them, you brought the other one.
I know, teamwork.
Yeah, there's no I in team, and there's no beer in team either.
But there is meat in team.
There's meat in team.
Yes.
Nice.
And there's me.
Yeah.
All right, very excited.
Nice.
And there's tea.
Yeah, sure.
There is.
Yeah. Are any of these beers tea inspired?
There's also eat and ate.
Yeah, sure.
Et.
I'm thirsty. I'm really thirsty. Help. He's keeping me locked up with no food or water.
And mate and met. There's so many words. Yeah. So many words in team.
Welcome to Fun with Words.
It's amazing, actually. Start thinking about it. There's a lot of words in team.
Yeah, but not I.
No I.
So which beer are we actually
going to tame?
Tame.
T-A-M-E, yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so let's start off with...
Mate?
I said that one, yeah, mate.
Oh, you did say mate.
Yeah. So, I think we should start with the Buxton Sour.
Sure.
Okay. So, we have two European beers from opposite sides of the continent. I picked this up at kiosk in Copenhagen, and they have an excellent selection of beers if you ever get a chance to go to Copenhagen and you're looking for a place to buy cans and bottles to take home with you. You go into kiosk and it looks just like a regular convenience store, but in the basement you just go downstairs and it's just a big beer cellar, and they have tons and tons of stuff in. The great thing about Copenhagen is pretty much any place that sells beer, if they have cans and bottles, you can buy those to go. So so if you're just in a bar somewhere and you're like, oh, I really like this, I want to take one home with me, just buy it, take it home with you. And it's like 20% cheaper if you take it home.
Nice.
Yeah, so it's cheaper to buy, and that's why you got that one bottle. Yeah, because it was...
Stefan gave me a bottle because he likes me so much and thinks I'm such a wonderful human.
You are, and you contributed so much to the show, so I felt like it's a small token of...
I'm still working on my photoshopped version of your logo where I photoshopped my face instead of Matthias' face.
That's coming soon.
Yeah.
Although this is a low ABV. This is only 5%.
Nice.
This is what we're drinking. We're drinking a Ryescrack, which is a raspberry and rye sour from Buxton. It is, having found raspberries to be extremely well matched with rye, we proceeded adding lactose, carefully controlling the fruit tartness.
Buxton is such an interesting brewery to me because in the beginning they were kind of in the middle of the road.
Yeah.
They made some good stuff, but no great stuff. Then they started making specials for festivals, and those were always really good, worth checking out. Mm-hmm. And this year, I think they're just killing it.
They have gotten progressively better. I think I first discovered them about 3 years ago, and thought they were kind of hit or miss. There were some really good things, and there were some really bad things. But then they've just gotten progressively better and better and better. And it kind of goes through waves. We'll get quite a few of their things at the Systembolaget, and then we won't get anything for 6 months, and then we'll get a bunch of their stuff in again, and then nothing for a while. Yeah. So I wish they would be more regular in the importing here. So this is a raspberry and rye sour. I'm very curious about this because it sounded like a very intriguing combination. I was very excited when I read that. And it smells very raspberry jammy on the nose.
Yeah, like a juice.
Yeah. In fact, my daughter smelled this beer and she's like, "Oh, it smells like jam." Yeah. And the color is just insanely clear. I mean, you can really see through it. It's kind of, I can hold it up to the light and basically see the apartment building across the street. If it wasn't for the curvature of the glass, I would have an inverted version of the apartment building across the street that I can see very easily.
Dark amber.
Yeah, but just completely transparent.
Yeah, reddish.
Reddish, yeah, very much reddish. Definitely got the raspberry in there and the rye. All right, well, cheers.
Cheers.
Wow.
clear raspberry in the flavor.
Right. It's very jammy. It's kind of sweet. You get the rye in the aftertaste. It's really prevalent, but it's not like that bitter, super sour raspberry that you get sometimes, like in a Goza or a lambic or something like that.
I kind of get that, but I enjoy that type of flavor.
Yeah.
The raspberry lingers a lot.
It does.
Afterwards. That's nice.
Yeah. Like I said, I don't find it overly sour. There's a bit of tartness to it.
Yeah.
But the rye and the raspberry.
I can't pick out what the rye contributes to this beer. Maybe I'm just not that used to picking out the rye characteristic.
It's in the aftertaste. It's in the malty graininess in the aftertaste. It's that cerealness that kind of comes out at the end. Mm-hmm. Because the forward taste on this is just pure raspberries.
Yeah.
Just sweet raspberry jam.
Sure, maybe I get it. This is one of those situations where I would have loved to have another variant of this that's like raspberry and wheat, raspberry and oat, raspberry and rye. That would have been a lot of fun to...
So then you could really see what the different grain builds are doing to each of the...
Yeah, because we've had that with some other beers in the past where it's not just all single hop. We have single grain beers as well. But they seldom do it in this way with a sour or a fruited sour. So that would have been a lot of fun.
Yeah, it's got barley, oats, wheat, hops, yeast. That's it.
And it's 1.5 months since it was canned.
Yeah, it was canned on February 25th. Oh, I'm supposed to say the part. I won't. Yeah, and this is 5% alcohol, so it's extremely easy to drink.
yeah, it's quaffable.
Oh yeah.
I'm really digging the label art. It's some kind of they've like dissected a raspberry in like this Leonardo da Vinci style drawing where there are these figures and lines and drawings and text and
right. But when they cut open the raspberry, you've got a spine, lungs, stomach, intestine, skin, fat.
Yeah, but raspberries are living things.
Yeah, I know. Apparently, they have a central nervous system and
yes, for sure,
and breathe and digest. And
they scream when you pick them.
I believe that.
But I enjoy this kind of abstract label art, which is it's not so abstract, but what I really mean is this kind of bizarre.
Yeah, it's a very unusual looking label.
Yeah,
I'm curious as to how they came up with the idea behind it because it doesn't really look like any of their other labels that they've done.
No, but now that you reveal that this episode is recorded in 2019.
Well, yeah.
You let the cat out of the
bag. Yeah.
So going back to Buxton's latest stuff, their 2019 line is so really good. Two particular beers pop out. It's the Kingslayer and the Kingmaker, 2 double IPAs.
All right.
I think one is... I've only had one recently. But they're just really good. And they made them in the past, and they were not as good then. So
I think that might be... I think I've had them in the past and didn't really care for them. Yeah. So it's kind of one of those like... Because the black label with the gold, right?
In this case, these 2019 versions are green, both of them.
Oh, okay.
One of them is green with a black dragon on it, and one of them is green with a black sword put into a battlefield. So one is Kingmaker, one is Kingslayer.
Yeah, I think I've seen them, but I just passed them over.
I shouldn't have drank it alone then.
That's perfectly fine.
I shouldn't have drank it outside of the What's on Tap podcast.
No, it's perfectly fine.
I should never drink anything outside of What's on Tap podcast. Now that I think about it,
that's true. You shouldn't. Yeah, you should only drink with me. That's all it is.
Yes. But what I want to say is, if you can find Buxton, do it. They're hitting the sweet spot right now.
I think there's so much competition in that area these days that because in northern UK between Cloudwater and Verdant, Wylam,
Pressure Point,
Left-Handed Giant,
Dea.
Yeah, all of those breweries are up in the northern part of the country, and they're all just producing amazing stuff. So I think that they, and maybe their collaboration with Omnipolo has helped them quite a bit. Maybe helped them up their game a little bit and got them a little more on track, doing higher quality. But whatever changed or whatever's happening, maybe they got new brewers that know more what they're doing. I don't know, but they're really stepping up their game quite a bit.
Omnipolo are putting out some beers that are like circus clown stuff.
Man, I don't even like. Omnipolo comes out with stuff, and I'm just like, ugh.
Let's not go there. But the stuff they make together with Buxton is consistently good.
Yeah.
They've made this Yellow Belly, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They did
that's really good.
And they do the
ice cream series.
The ice cream series, and they do the barrel aged Yellow Belly, which is the.
It's called barrel aged Yellow Belly, right?
No, it's called something else.
Is it like a mirror?
It's a mirror that's cracked.
Yeah. I know which one. I can't remember.
I can't think of it. It's
Sunday. Yellow Belly Sunday.
Yellow Belly. Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
But it's hands down one of my favorite beers of all time. It's a 5 out of 5 for me every time I have it. It is just absolutely incredible.
Yeah, so the conclusion there is, if you want to drink an Omnipolo beer, drink the ones they've collaborated with Buxton on.
Yeah, apparently.
For sure.
Because they're going to be really good.
Yes.
I tried all of the original birthday series, but then since then I haven't tried the second, or I think there might even be a third wave of that series. Have you tried? Well, the ice cream. I'm sorry, the Sunday. Because they just did a birthday cake. That's why it's throwing me off. And that's why I'm thinking there's a third round of these ice cream ones.
I've had like 6 or 7 of their ice cream series, and they all have some quality that makes them worth drinking.
Yeah.
Like the vanilla one tastes like vanilla ice cream.
Yeah.
For example.
Yeah, the one I didn't get the second batch of stuff that they did, but I tried. No, I guess it was the third batch. I maybe they're on the 4th now, because I did the original one, which was like the lemon meringue and the vanilla ice cream, and there was one other one, and then they did the second round, which was the Rocky Road and the
I had those,
and then they did another round after that, which was the raspberry something and blueberry slab.
I've had the blueberry slab.
Yeah, I think that was the round where I was just like, all right, now you're getting into this ridiculous whatever over the top descriptors kind of beers, and that's such a turn off to me these days.
I get it.
I kind of like, plus they're so freaking expensive. All right, so what would you rank Ryescrack?
This is a 4.25.
Yeah,
I am loving this.
I am too. I am right there with you. I just think the raspberry on this is so spot on.
Yeah,
and at 5%, I think it's just really easy to drink, and you can drink a lot of these.
Yep.
The raspberry doesn't become too much over time.
No. Yeah. It's kept at a really nice level.
Mm-hmm. Okay, next up is something you've been very excited about. So why don't you tell us about what it is we got today?
Yeah, so this is the FrauGruber Super Soul. It's a triple India Pale Ale, clocking in at 10%. And I've liked FrauGruber for quite a while now. I try to get everything they release, but their stouts are nice, but they're nowhere near as good as their IPAs.
No, their IPAs are outstanding. And you're right, their stouts are okay, but they're not on nearly the same level. And like FrauGruber, it seems like to have just appeared out of nowhere in the past, year? And they just came out swinging compared to a lot of other... German craft beer makers like Sudden Death or, what's the other one I'm thinking of?
I don't remember which, but...
there's a couple of them, and they're all kind of good, but Boodleship?
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, they do,
sure.
Yeah, I mean, they do good stuff, but it's not like, wow, amazing. But FrauGruber just really killing it.
Yeah, and this particular... beer, Super Soul, I have actually already tried because I got 2 cans, so I know what I'm bringing to the table.
All right. You're also bringing a monster 10% ABV beer.
Yes.
Oh.
Now we're getting into the point where I might spoil the beer for you if I keep talking about it.
All right, well, let's take a sniff.
Yes. All the fruits. It's a mango, passion fruit, grapefruit.
Yeah, it's got very tropical,
all
fruity notes
fruits.
to it. All right. And it's
super muddy.
Super like what you would expect from a haze bomb.
New England haze bomb triple IPA. Cheers.
Yeah. You get a lot of that fruity mango.
Yeah, a lot of mango.
Just super mango. It was like most mango-y beer I've ever had, I think. Yes. Super mango-y.
And now I can say it. I do not think this tastes like 10%. This tastes like 5 or something.
That was my next point, was it's not boozy in any way whatsoever.
They've hidden that alcohol so well.
It drinks super smooth and super easy. This is one of those dangerous beers where you're kind of like, oh, this is just sweet juice. It's so sweet too. It feels like they just added, like, I know they don't add sugar to these things, but if I read that they added fructose corn syrup to this, I would not be surprised. Yeah, exactly. It is so sweet tasting.
Does it actually say anything on the can?
Yeah, they break down what they add.
It's, they don't even
water, barley, malt, wheat malt, oat malt, hops, and yeast.
Yeah, and the hops are Select and Citra BBC.
Yeah.
What's Citra BBC?
Sub hops.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. There's a best before date, but there's no made on date, and we don't know how long.
What's the best before? July? Yeah. That's a really long best before date. So we'll assume this probably has
month or maybe 2.
Yeah, probably a month and a half.
Yeah.
Since
But I thoroughly enjoy this beer, and I did the last time I drank it as well. That's why I saved one can.
How long ago did you try this?
I think a week ago, or maybe a week and a half ago. And this has been refrigerated since then.
It's just so sweet and smooth and fruity. I mean, it's really everything you want from a New England IPA.
Yeah, and also a triple IPA.
And the triple part's kind of what's blowing your mind, because I can kind of get, like, the more you drink, the booziness kind of builds up a little bit.
Yeah, sure.
But it's still not like just slamming you in your face with like hot alcohol heat.
Some triple IPAs are just on the first sip you go, whoop, that's a heavy beer.
Yeah.
And you get kind of put off on that flavor, because the more you drink it, then that's all you can think about.
Because for me, I mean, if it's not like a stout or like a Belgian, because the Belgian beers are really boozy.
Yeah, but they're supposed to.
Right. So they're not hiding the alcohol at all. But with this one, I mean, this one is, not hitting you over the head. It's keeping it kind of in the back pocket, as they say.
Yeah, exactly.
And where did you get this? You got it on...
This is from Glasbanken.se.
Yeah.
And they are just nailing it with good stuff right now. All of the British brewers we mentioned 5 minutes ago, like Verdant and
Lieutenant Giant,
Lieutenant Giant, and
Northern Monk,
and Cloudwater, are consistently getting to Glasbanken. It was a while since I saw Verdant. They really become the hyped brewery, but Glasbanken are just pushing out amazing IPAs. And this is no exception.
It's pretty much all they have are stouts and IPAs these days.
Yeah. They have some sours.
Well, they have a few sours, they have a few lagers, they have a few other things here or there, but it's mostly IPAs and
I actually think it's you and I who are bad at looking at those categories.
I just look at whatever's new. I just look at the new section, and that's just what I order from, because I figure that's whatever they bring in new. Yeah,
that's not really what I do. I go to the start page, and then they have these special categories.
Yeah.
Like, here are our newest IPAs or our newest stouts, and I just go there immediately.
See what I do? I just go to the new page and just look at whatever's on the new page, and then just order from there. So that's why I've ordered a lager or ordered a Bock or something like that as well, because it's like, well, like these other offerings from this brewery, would be very open to trying. Something else. So
yeah. An interesting thing about FrauGruber is that they're from. I checked. I knew they were from the Bavaria area, but I had to check up the cities. They're from Augsburg. That doesn't matter. But the Bavarian area is so traditional when it comes to beer.
Super traditional. Yeah.
So us finding experimental German beers from the Berlin area is not a surprise.
No.
But finding a triple IPA New England style of this quality from the Bavarian area is actually surprising. Because of their super traditional roots. I can imagine that FrauGruber gets a lot of flack.
The Reinheitsgebot is what it's water.
Okay, the Reinheitsgebot. Do you mean the original, real?
Like what are
writing?
So what is it that you're supposed to be able to brew with?
Barley malts, no other malts.
Okay.
Water and hops. Period. No yeast, because yeast wasn't invented. They hadn't found yeast when the Reinheitsgebot was written, so you're not allowed to have yeast in it. If you follow. And they have several types of malts, so they've already failed.
So they've got wheat malt, oat malt, and yeast.
Yeah, so oat malt.
But barley malt's a base, and hops.
Oat malts make it non-Reinheitsgebot.
Yeah, but it also gives you that wonderful silky mouth.
Yeah. I am anti-Reinheitsgebot. When they implemented that law, it had a purpose because beer at that time was being mixed with adjuncts and stuff, the way we see now in America with the macrobrewers, like rice syrups and bullshit.
Yeah.
So the Reinheitsgebot was meant to make beer purer, but we're past that. Some brewers still make infected beer, but the Reinheitsgebot doesn't solve that problem.
No. Yeah, I think it's a laudable thing that they have, but to be subjugated to it in this day and age just does not feel realistic or really in touch with the market anymore.
No.
People want good beers, but they don't want boring beers. And I'm not saying that you can't make a Pilsner or a Hefeweizen or a Bock or something like that. They're not exciting styles.
No,
but they're really evolving now. You're seeing brewers come out with pilsners that are rich and complex, and are using different types of hops to or they're using dry hopping or something to kind of build some complexity into the style. So I think that you can take these very traditional, standard ideas and really play with them and experiment with them a lot more.
Oh, I agree. You can stay within the confines of Reinheitsgebot and still make an amazing beer. That's mostly thanks to hops and their amazing variety.
Yeah.
But it is too limiting. Putting lactose in a beer can make some beers really pop.
Yeah.
And then you've broken the law.
But then you also, you could also experiment with the roasting of the barley. Like, how hard do you roast it?
Sure.
Depends on, how much chocolatey, caramelly natures you're going to get from the...
Yeah, sure.
From the roast.
Sure.
So, there's a lot of room to play with inside those limitations. And sometimes those limitations are fun because they allow you to really experiment with, what are the chemical makeup of things to create different flavor profiles and concepts.
Yeah, but that's why we have these beer judge guidelines for specific styles. So sure, you can stay within the confines of a regular brown ale, and you can do fun stuff there. And then as soon as you barrel age it, you broke the boundaries. Now it's something else.
Yeah.
So sure, within the confines of a traditional English IPA, you can make fun stuff. But I want to drink this stuff as well. A triple IPA, New England style.
Yeah. It's also interesting that Germany is also the country that gave us Gose and Berliner Weiss, which are clearly not within the Reinheitsgebot.
No, definitely not.
Yeah.
Like in the Gose where you add salt. That's like...
It's a big no. Yeah. In traditional Berliner Weiss, you add syrups to them. in the serving.
As far as I know, that's not the traditional. That's become like in the 20th century.
No, everything I read from the history of it.
Oh, wow,
like
really?
When it was originally formed, you had two different types of syrup you would add to the serving of it. Either a red or a green syrup.
Like in the 19th century and before?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Wow.
I mean, it's a relatively modern style.
Aha.
So it's not like a centuries old style. It's an 1800s, I want to say.
Yeah, that's still pretty old.
Yeah, well... It is, but it isn't, kind of.
So that's the 19th century, right?
Yeah.
I'm trying to learn American.
It's confusing. It's like, oh, it's 1700s, but it's 18th century. Like, wait, what?
I'm glad you agree with me.
It's very odd. Okay, so what do we give the FrauGruber Super Soul?
To me, this is a strong 4.5. I am loving this.
Is it 4.5?
Yeah.
So why wouldn't you make it a 5? What's that?
I've had better. I mean, it might be. When I say strong 4.5, is that I'm leaning towards a 4.75. Mm-hmm. I feel like the aftertaste disappears too quickly. I've had IPAs where the aftertaste, the fruity hop aftertaste, lasts longer.
Yeah.
Here, I need to take sips more often.
Yeah. And there is a bit of a hop burn in the back of my throat that I get.
Yeah, sure. A little bit, yeah.
Yeah. So, in 2 weeks, this might even be better.
Maybe.
Yeah.
This is my last can.
Oh.
I saved it for you.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate it. And the show thanks you.
Well, what did you give it?
I am going to give it a 4.25.
Yeah.
I think it's really good. And the fact that it's 10% and you don't get this huge face punch of alcohol is really refreshing. I like the sweetness. I like the fruitiness. But you're right. It doesn't linger. It dies pretty fast. And I think the residual hop burn that I'm getting off of it is kind of taking it down a little bit for me.
Mm-hmm. But at a 4.5, it makes it the best German IPA I've ever had. You're thinking back on all the German IPAs.
Yeah, there aren't a lot to choose from. But so I have to kind of agree with you there.
To the listeners, this is where Stefan looks up into the distance and like these mathematical algorithms start popping up. Like, what? A plus B equals beer?
Yeah, there is a lot of there is a more. Just take a moment and kind of just blank and then just think back real quick. There's like cue cards just flashing, like Yep. All right. Because I really can't think of that many. I mean, I know I've had quite a few German IPAs, but it's not the country I go to when I think of IPAs.
No, they usually end up like 3.5, 3.75, and then you say, this isn't bad.
Yeah.
It's a drinkable IPA.
And then you have to put in the quantifier. For a German IPA, this is actually pretty good. And then for me, that's automatically going, well, you've knocked whatever your
but this one is good in an international playing field.
Yeah, and I think FrauGruber is playing on an international playing field, honestly.
Yes.
They are really doing great stuff. I think their name is horrible, but...
It's FrauGruber.
FrauGruber. But I think the stuff that they've been doing has been exceptional all the way around.
So, any representative at FrauGruber, feel free to send experimental IPAs to What's on Tap podcast.
Yes.
What's on Tap Street, Malmo, whatever.
Well, you can find us online at what'sontappodcast.com, as well as Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, Spotify, Facebook. Did I say Facebook?
You did say Facebook, but you can reach us there twice.
Yes, you can reach us there twice. It's the easiest probably. Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube are probably the easiest ways.
There are so many ways to send us experimental IPA.
To find us, reach out to us, talk to us, let us know what you think. If you've had these beers, we would love to hear what you thought about them. So until next time.
Keep drinking it, dum-dum.